Hey guys, and welcome back to the Sanctuary Cast, the podcast for Southeast Asia. I am your host, Pseudo, and joining me today are two people no strange to the podcast. For the third time, if I'm not mistaken, it is John joining us back here, and Ben.
Hey,
Um,
thanks for having me back, man.
Hello, hello. It's nice to be back.
how have you guys been?
It's been pretty good. Mainly just playing a lot of Diablo 3, so yeah.
Well, to be honest, that's what's been happening to me as well. My yellow has actually deteriorated along the way. Ben,
And
has that
me
been the
as
case?
well. Yes, I have been playing Diablo 3, I have to admit.
Oh, Diablo 3 is sucking life out of us. Anyway, we are here to talk not about Diablo 3, but we're here to talk about League of Legends. And in our show today, we'll be talking about three main topics, which is one on the side of Garena. Secondly, we're going to talk about Riot itself. And third, we're going to be talking about clans in Southeast Asia itself. So let's just move along quickly to go up there because at the moment Garena Premier League GPL is currently going on and the match is about to end. We should actually talk about that shortly below. But for the first topic itself was the changes to Garena and what they had done itself. For those of y'all who do not know what Garena is, or this is your first time listening to us, Garena is the service provider for League of Legends here in Southeast Asia. That's why we're talking about Garena in the first place. So yeah, the changes to Garena. One of the most important changes was the G Talk, the Garena Talk. I don't know about that, to be honest.
I mean, I haven't really had time to test it out because I haven't really needed another program to use to like communicate with my friends and stuff like that. So it seems like it's a bit troublesome, and I just haven't really gone through it yet.
I'll be honest, when I first heard about Garena Talk, um, my reaction was just meh because, let's face it, anyone who takes League of Legends, well, seriously, you probably have your own voice over internet protocol client and you probably have all your buddies all set up and there's no real compelling reason to want to use Garena Talk and have to go through the hassle of learning a new system and getting your buddies to join you on it. And there's no benefit that they're offering to make me, want to do the switch. So yeah, I mean, I'm just comfortable using Skype and Mumble and every other thing that I usually use. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I have all my contacts in Skype. Why would I want to like trouble myself setting up my mic, setting up the volume, the audio levels and stuff like that? A new interface. It's probably gonna be user unfriendly anyway, because it is Arena.
Okay, well, put it this way. Okay, minus the fact that you guys actually play League of Legends like a lot, like really avidly. But what about normal players who do not have a lot of friends on Skype that they play with constantly, or they do not have a clan? They just have like a few group of friends. Do you think it's actually plausible for them to be using it?
Yeah, definitely.
And just say no because Skype is like recognized internationally as the voice over internet protocol client that most people use. I mean, I even see businesses using Skype to conduct interviews overseas. And Garena is just like this gaming company. So honestly, if I have non-gaming friends, I mean like friends who go overseas and I just want to talk to them, it's a lot easier for me to convince them to add me on Skype or to get them to start using Skype than to convince them to start using Garena Talk. Because I'll first have to explain what exactly is Garena, you see?
No, I mean like normal players. For instance, if you are not part of a clan,
Okay.
you do not like duo queue with partners, or you don't have a team. So it's
Okay.
just maybe you and like three other friends.
Okay.
Okay, so and you have never been using Skype before this. Do you think Garena Talk will be actually viable for them, or was that the target market of Garena itself when they produced this?
I
I'm not
think that's possible, but it's probably a very small market, if any at all. Yeah. John, you want to say something?
Yeah, I said I'm not really sure whether that was the initial target, but um, I think back on the days when I first started gaming and I didn't know anything about using communication over like Skype and Ventrilo and TeamSpeak and etc. like that. So when people do like just get started, I guess it is a noob friendly place to get this communication program within Garena itself. So it might benefit those that don't know about using any of these programs at all.
Okay, well, have you guys actually tried it out?
Well, I don't see a need to.
Same here.
Okay,
No.
well, I actually tried it out. I want to see whether, the service was good and stuff of that sort. My rating out of 5 would be a 2.
Really, is that bad?
So it
Um,
failed basically.
Why was
To
it
me-
like really laggy or something?
Yeah, I wouldn't say very laggy, but at certain points, it tend to freeze up. Um,
Well,
it was the same thing as with Raid Call, where we had like a slight delay to the each speech.
So basically, you're saying that the call quality itself was questionable.
I mean, the quality, I mean, we could hear each other fine, just that there was this delays inside. Like for everyone that spoke, there was a slight delay.
Oh, okay.
It's like how similar whenever you try to personal message a person on Garena, it kind of freezes up for like 2 seconds, then it opens up the window.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Something similar to that with a lesser lag time. So yeah.
Okay, so I take it that Garena has incorporated their trademark lag.
But hence the word beta. So hopefully
Yeah.
it can
Hopefully
be.
they fix it up, and I think it should be good for like the general people who do not have Skype or do not have Mumble or TeamSpeak or Ventrilo or any of these other things. It's,
What about the like general features and the interface? Are they okay, user friendly?
Yeah, I would say user friendly. Not bad. I mean, there's nothing surprising or nothing new that I haven't seen. But yeah, it should be okay, I guess. Like, there's nothing surprising. There's nothing under par. It's according to industry standard, I would say. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So how do you get your friends into that? Do you like invite them one by one, or is it like you can invite them one shot and just like categorize them?
Or did you have to
Um,
bribe them?
No, basically, because I was testing this among the clan members, so we just started calling each other, and that's how it was. So you just create a group and start up a call. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty user friendly in that sort of sense, but we shall see when it actually launches out. Hopefully they fix the latency issues and it should be pretty good. I mean, in the sense that at least now you get to talk to different people from different games and things of that sort from the Garena system itself. Yeah, and people don't have to actually do so. Anyhow, the second thing we're going to talk about from Garena itself is the first year anniversary Lan Party.
I got one main thing to say about that. Pack silver skin, man. That's all it is. It's that pack silver skin.
Amen.
It's a good thing that Garena is taking the opportunity to make a event like that, where it's held both in Malaysia and in Singapore, and it's actually quite rewarding for people to come down. You get that pack silver skin. I mean, who doesn't want a pack silver skin? That skin is freaking awesome, man. I would go down. I would like just I'll just move my schedule about here and there just so I can have some free time just to go down and collect that skin. See what's
Speaking of schedule, I'll have to say that I like how they chose quite a wide time slot, 12 to 9 for Singapore, because that's really flexible. I mean, people who are working can easily come down after office hours because
Or
there's no
lunch.
time. Yep, that's true. And I see it's 6 to 11 for Malaysia too, which is not too bad.
I don't know. It's 6 to 11 for Malaysia. I mean, I'm from Malaysia, and that's horrific for me. It's like, okay, first of all, I don't live in KL City itself. Now, if anybody lives in KL City and you're trying to get to the Subang area at 6 o'clock, you must be insane because the jam will be so far gone, you'll be stuck there for 2 hours.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if it's in the Singapore context, it's really easy for all of us to like just make time and travel. It's only like, I mean, you only need 1 hour of traveling time to get anywhere in Singapore. Maybe
2
like an
hours.
hour and a half most.
Hours tops, honestly.
Yeah, it's not really that troublesome. But for like people in KL, it's kind of a sad thing, you know. I mean, in Malaysia, it's like if
I
you're
know.
staying further up in different states and want to go all the way, it's gonna be a pain.
I mean,
Yeah,
like for me, I don't really mind like the people in different states. We have two places in Malaysia. We have one up north in Kampar, and then we have one in the KL region itself. There,
But
I'm
it's
just wondering that the location and the time that they chose, like yikes.
but it's two enough, like two places in Malaysia enough to kind of like meet the standards of all the Malaysian League of Legends players that want to attend this event.
that
I
was
think-
something that I wanted to ask Justin if he felt that the location could have been better. Because honestly, I think Funan Digital Mall for Singapore is perfect. I mean, like it's a known place for IT stuff and it's kind of central. But I'm not sure how you feel as a Malaysian about your Malaysian venue. Could it have been better?
I think it definitely could have been better. I mean, let's put it this way: if they had one directly in Penang itself, rather than halfway between KL and Penang, which was Ipoh, and we have another one perhaps in either Sarawak or Sabah, because the game was on the other side there, on the east side of Malaysia, hardly have any events. Like even if they had a really small one over there, it would, I think, to me, it go leaps and bounds in covering most people. The one in KL, the location, well, it's KL, you know, an hour drive here and there, minus the jam. Sure, you reach there. But for one in Kampar, I'm not sure why they chose there. Do they have lots of players from Kampar? I don't know. But I do see that many people have been asking why not Penang in the most central location. I don't know. Perhaps it's something I know Garena only can answer.
I mean, also a side note is that they're also giving out that T-shirt. I don't know whether you have to pay for it or what, but I mean, it's a good thing.
Jehuti did say that they'll be giving out T-shirts. I highly believe that only if you participate in their events there, like their mini games and things like that, will you get a T-shirt. Or perhaps maybe the winners of the events might get a T-shirt. As far as I know, it's only the Mundo
the
T-shirt,
Singe,
not the Singe or the Lee Sin one.
What about I blame the jungler T-shirt?
Unfortunately, none of us actually got down to making a T-shirt, so nobody submitted.
Oh,
Hence, is not
so
part of
sad.
it. You know, it
I
should
blame the support T-shirt.
Support no words.
Yeah.
awards. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we could make our own T-shirts and go for the event. As for me, I will be going to the Subang one. So yeah, I'll say hi to anybody there who actually knows who I am. Yeah, but aside that, okay, so we talked about Pack Severe. We all want it now. That's one of the most coveted skins out there. So now that we have the skin, once we go for it, what's the next best skin that we want?
Next best skin.
Are we talking about skins that are not for sale here specifically?
Yeah, I mean, they're not for sale, like Pack Severe, like, what else do we want? Like,
Hang on.
because
I have to open up my League of Legends.
Yeah, I have to open up my phone and take a
I
look.
can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know. For me, it's I don't know, because Pack Severe seems to be like this unattainable skin.
Oh yeah, I know. The triumphant Alistair skin, which is not the
yeah.
triumphant. Sorry, the unchained Alistair skin. That skin is actually given free on the NA server.
If you like their YouTube or something
yeah,
like that,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
But I don't know why it's not done over here in Garena. It's kind of
Maybe Garena should do it to increase their GPL views.
yeah. I mean that would help.
Go support their page. We'll give you Unchained Alistair.
Definitely, man.
If they do so, I shall not claim that was my idea. I wouldn't mind Unchained Alistair as well.
That skin is really awesome. Those big horns and oh my goodness, so nice.
Wait, coming back to Garena and their events and things like that, do you think their first year anniversary should have been done on a weekend where they could have perhaps like a room or a hall with the commentators there casting Garena Premier League live?
I mean, as a company, yeah, I think doing it on a weekend would ensure better turnout. But then also you gotta look at the cost of renting a place and stuff like that. It might not have been what they wanted to do, so...
I don't know, to me it seemed like a really good spot where if people don't watch Ghana Premier League or they haven't been very active and know what it is going on. Like when they come for the event for just say the skin, or they come with their friends or things of that sort, they could actually view it there. And we could also see like the commentators live and things like that. I thought they should have done that, but I guess they have their reasons, like you said. Perhaps it was not in their budget or things of that sort.
Yeah, probably. But
Talking
what
about
Garena can do is probably like the finals of the GPL, like maybe whether it's in Malaysia or
Yeah, I think they're saving it for like semi-finals and finals. You know, like the grand finale.
just have like a grand outing where everyone can just come down and watch on a really big screen in one of the land shops. I think in Singapore you can do it at Coliseum. You know, they have that huge screen where you can just like
Or you could have it at the expo.
even better. But I think the turnout will be that much.
I mean, I guess they could do that, and maybe they do have something like that planned. After all, when they did the, what is it? What am I? Opening ceremony. That's the word I'm looking for. When they did the opening ceremony in Taiwan, they did have like a proper hall set up there where people could be, people could look at what's going on and things of that sort. So, I'm not sure where the closing ceremony is. Maybe the information is out there, just that I skipped it. But it should be pretty interesting. If they do actually do so, people coming on and cheering on their teams itself. Yeah. Oh wait, yes. Talking about GPL as well. We'll just move on to our third subtopic, which is the highlights for week 2 and now into week 3. As you're talking about this, two very significant things that I have personally seen over the last 2 weeks is that one, there's a clear division of who is ahead and who is lagging behind. And the second thing is that the games are getting boring. What do you all think?
I think it really showcases the different skill levels that each team has to offer and that they bring to the table when they fight. When it comes to, I mean, I don't mean to be biased or anything, but when it comes to other teams, I'm not really that interested in watching because of how they have already done so far in the GPL league. So I'm mainly interested in just watching Singapore Sentinels, Taipei Assassins. I mean, KL Hunters they've done quite well the last game that they played. Sorry, not the last game. The game before I watched it. The
Bangkok Titans.
No, KL Hunter versus was it Senjun Jokers?
You mean the one that they won?
Yeah, the one that won.
Bangkok Titans.
Bangkok Titans. That was a really good morale boost for KL Hunters. I don't know why I'm saying KL Titans. What's wrong with me? Yeah, KL Hunters. You know. But I wasn't free to watch the Singapore Sentinels versus KL Hunters. I can see it here on the results. They show Singapore Sentinels win, but I can't open up the stats, the match stats, so I can't see that.
I mean, I guess sooner or later they'll post it up on Garena itself there. Perhaps it may be a glitch or something on their side. But for me, it shows very clear that, we have the leaders out there, which is Taipei Assassins at the moment, and Singapore Sentinels just behind. And then we have at the bottom there, Bangkok Titans who have not won a single game. Like,
Yeah.
and the game between Taipei Assassins and Bangkok Titans, like, yikes.
So horribly one-sided. It was like just one-way traffic right from the start.
It was so painful to watch. Like, ow. I could not have imagined what was going through their minds, to be honest. In the week 3, the match that was on Friday, it just went bad to us. Like, I mean, the starting was pretty good. Like, the starting was okay. Like, they managed to hold on to their own. Once that first blood went, that was the end of it. Like, there was no chance of coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, we play like public games and we pub stomp. We can basically camp just at their fountain, just at their base up there. Why am I saying fountain? That's so Dota. We basically can camp there and kill them as they come up and just let the creeps end the game for us. And this is what this was what Taipei Assassins was doing to Bangkok Titans. Like, yikes. At this level where they are paid teams and there's still such a disparity of the skill,
Yeah,
I find that really shocking.
it was just embarrassingly one-sided. Yeah.
I think I said this before, a couple podcasts back, when Skara actually acknowledged how strong Taipei Assassins was, and it, I mean, it just shows the skill that that team has. It's really fantastic to see how Stanley plays that top lane, and how he's so versatile at it, and how he's so like how should I put it? He's very comfortable with playing his top range style, and I mean top lane style, and how the jungler always backs him up at top lane. That type of chemistry that they both have is really interesting to see how it takes on within a match. And but it's a bit sad that Singapore Sentinels has not really been acknowledged in the NA side or the EU side, and I really do hope that they do stand a strong chance to actually show up Taipei Assassins, but it's going to be a tough fight till the end. So I'm just, I think at the end it's going to be Singapore Sentinels and Taipei Assassins that's going to just steamroll this competition.
You know what's the thing was that yeah, I don't know whether you guys know about this, but in the rank 5 versus 5 in the NA side, Taipei Assassins is actually ranked number 10, the top 10 team in NA.
Oh, they're really strong.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was actually checking about it a few days ago when I was playing on the NA accounts, and rank 5 versus 5, Taipei Assassins is the 10th team up there. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 18 wins, 1 loss, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of sad because the only real Singapore player that has an opportunity to go pro on the NA side was
It's Vec.
actually Vec.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and all of a sudden his team kind of like disbanded. I'm not really sure what's happening with that. So it was kind of a letdown because they were doing really well when they were fighting with top teams like TSM and stuff like that. And I checked out a lot of the matches because of the spectator mode. I have Vec on my friends list, so it's like I watched some of them. So it's really there's a sense of pride when I see a player from Singapore actually standing up and showing that we do have that type of skill level and the potential to go pro, not just the NA or the Europe team that's just gonna
Dominating.
dominate everything.
Okay. Well, basically that ends it for the Garena side. We're actually going to be moving on to the Riot side here. Refer a friend is officially closed. Well, that basically goes my chance of getting, my name out there, Pseudo's item. Like, oh, great.
Well, we all know how much Smurfs abused it.
I mean, you still needed your account to get level 10 in that sort of saves, and that people can still create Smurfs along the way. I mean, we see many people using Smurfs here and there, but for refer a friend, did it actually work? To be honest,
They didn't really work, honestly, but if you're actually gonna go all outright and say that we're gonna stop refer a friend, you're kind of giving the understanding to the community that you have enough players for the game. And I really don't agree with that because I feel that the player pool is still very limited. Hence the queue times in rank, it's horrendous. I mean, only in the evening it's bearable, but other than that, you will most likely queue 10-15 minutes for a game. So, I don't know, maybe something can be done to rope in more players.
I felt that Garena probably got the message, not that we have enough players, but rather we have enough accounts. Because there's a big difference
Yeah.
between accounts and players.
Yeah.
And I think Jehuti once mentioned that Garena is aware of the Smurf issue, and Garena was also aware that there's this prevailing attitude in Southeast Asia, or at least Singapore at least I feel, that those who are Dota players resist the kind of change or transition to League of Legends because they don't want to, have to start to learn a whole new game again, and they don't want to go through the process of, getting out of their comfort zone. And added to the fact that Dota 2 is just on the horizon, that gives like even less reason to want to switch to League of Legends.
Probably, but I don't know. For me, it's like Dota, you want to play the same 60, 70, 80 heroes for the past 6 years. It's kind of getting a bit boring. The change is always refreshing.
And I think Garena just came around to accepting the fact that maybe Refer a Friend just wasn't getting the kind of results that they were expecting, and so they just decided to, just shut the door on this Smurf abuse thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was that was it based on Smurf abuse, or was it just that they realized, you know what? Okay, a few, maybe 10 maybe one person could get 10 people to join, but after that, like there was no later tiers. Do you think they're stopping this to implement a new system?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Because to me, like in a business sort of sense, if this is not really working where people can get maybe 10, 20, unless you're like a live streamer and you're giving away, your passcode so that people can sign up and make accounts, you are not going to reach 1,000. Like 1,000 is really ridiculous to reach. 1,000 players that reach level 10. So I'm pretty sure they're coming up with a new system. I'm not sure how soon they release the new system, but it should be pretty interesting to see what else they can come up with on the other side there. After all, I mean, Riot is investing a lot into making sure that they stay in the esports scenes for years to come. That's what they have been saying in their promotional videos, which is why Season 2's finals is offering so much of money out there.
Yeah, I think they're just feeling the heat from competition coming from Dota 2, even Blizzard Dota, which is like looming its head over the horizon.
Yep.
Heroes
I'm
of
pretty
New
sure that
World.
would take another 4 to 5 years knowing Blizzard. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
just look at how
And
long
probably
it
when
Yeah,
it comes
Diablo 3.
out, and probably when it actually comes out, it'll probably like be bugged for the next 3 weeks and have server downtimes every other day.
It will be online only and you'll be faced with error 37.
Oh, error 37, man.
only Diablo players will actually get that. Everybody else will be wondering, what the hell are these people talking about? Yeah, so
Wait,
talking...
before we move on to the next topic,
Sure.
something that I wanted to say about GPL, about the commentators. Please, 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 for the Singapore side, please bring back Jehuti to commentate. I think he's the only viable commentator there. I know Elliot has been trying quite a bit, and he's been getting a lot of feedback and a lot of criticism about it. But I give Elliot props for at least going out there and try. I'm not sure who the second commentator is, but it'll be a lot better if Jehuti commentates that, man.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Elliot is like kind of the host. I don't know if I would call it that sort of thing. But yeah,
It should be
Jehuti-
done on a regular basis. That's like
yeah, I mean, Jehuti does appear, if I'm not mistaken, once every week or something of that sort. Because I do know that yesterday Elliot was speaking, and today Jehuti was up there as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, I kind of prefer Jehuti commentating over Elliot itself. I'm not saying that Elliot is bad or anything like that. It's just like a personal preference itself.
I think it's because we've always been used to Jehuti doing regular weekly live streams and talking at all the Garena events. So it wasn't like, kind of accustomed to his style, and then this new guy comes along and it's kind of different and it's a little too much to adjust to in a short notice. So yeah.
For me, it's more about being articulate with what you're trying to say and how you actually explain what's going on in the game. And some of the commentators that I've seen, I'm not going to name any names, but there's only 3 of them. So some of the commentators that you have seen, they get a bit rattled up when it comes to a team fight, and a lot of things are not conveyed properly.
And I'll be blunt here, some of them even have bad pronunciation. Tornado. Tornado.
Oh, not over, man.
So literally like my big toe, tornado.
I mean, leaving aside pronunciation, okay, people do, pardon my language, up for pronunciation and things of that sort. But what I think is a little unforgiving is that they make wrong calls. For instance, when someone is clearly ignited and the person died to a canister by Graves, I'm like, okay. Like,
Okay, if it's understood in a sense, right, it's not that bad for me. What really gets me about it is that when you talk about something that does not have any influence at all at the moment, so you're talking about Anivia farming with, like, okay, what happened was that Anivia will put the ult down, so that you can use your E. I think it's called the frostbite, right? The lens.
Yep. Yeah,
The frostbite, so that you can get the frost effect on it and do more damage. But then the commentator actually says that he's putting the ult down to farm. So it's the wrong conception that he's trying to convey across, and to me I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either because I think it reflects a lack of game knowledge, a lack of the subject matter at hand, and that's very important for a commentator to have.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're talking about. Yeah. Simple as that.
But I mean, we have to give props to these people because I don't believe that many of them, the commentators have their own channel or have been doing this for a very long time. So it's
that's why all the more I give Elliot props for actually going out there and trying to, because I can actually see that he is like getting a little bit better, but there is a few more mistakes here and there.
Yeah, I believe that he is getting better, but there's only it's like 4 more weeks to GPL, 4 or 5 more weeks to GPL. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there itself. So
I mean, basically, you don't want a commentator to blow smoke up his ass. Sorry for the language, but seriously, you don't want that happening. You want something that's going to be legitimate, is going to be straight to the point, is going to explain everything. So yeah.
Okay. Well, if I for some reason do end up commentating for GPL, please be brutally honest with me. I'll find you guys. Be like,
don't worry, I definitely will, man. I'm Indian. I'm always honest.
You shall supply me with information as I'm commentating. Okay, next thing we're going to go to was actually the Riot Invitationals out there. They have actually come up with their season 2, and it's building up there. We see many of the pro teams now after GPL that we are halfway going through. We see that other teams are actually putting more of an effort to practice up so that they can go for the qualifiers out there. Even for instance, like the IPL 5 qualifiers for the Asian side, we see many of the other teams there. Impressions team is one of them that did pretty well in the Tristana Cup. Was it? Or Everlasting Cup? No, not Tristana. What was a tournament that had like so many rounds in the first round?
I don't know. I lost track of all tournaments.
Yeah, it was the Tristana Cup. Yeah. So basically, if I'm not mistaken, they went in and won all rounds of the first round itself. So congratulations to them. Yeah.
Absolute domination.
Yeah, it was absolute domination. So it was pretty cool. I watched some of the replays from that. They did really well. So we shall see. I mean, we do see many teams gearing up. Many teams have been disbanded so that new teams can be reformed and things of that sort. So it should be pretty interesting to see season 2 as it comes a little closer. But for something more current now and more happening, with the recent release of Darius out there, I don't know, we talked about this in the previous podcast, saying that he seems pretty overpowered. I believe all of us have seen him in game. What are your impressions of him now that we get to play with him?
Oh boy. I've seen him like in every normal game. I get 2 Dariuses, one on my team and one on the other team. And I think I'm not going to talk about him being overpowered because I think everyone's been saying that. So it's kind of like me stating the obvious. But what I want to talk about is his champion design. And I feel that, Riot has really lost the plot with this most recent champion. Okay, well, I mean, Draven is the most recent champion, but yeah, it's lost the plot with Darius because all the while, Riot has built up League of Legends to be like, a team-based game. That's why you have like team objectives and you like try to do things together. But to me, it seems that Darius is a failure because he encourages selfish play. And it's extremely selfish play because all you do is kill steal with your ult, honestly. Yeah.
Yep.
But isn't it the same as Katrina? So
no, but you see, it's not just the kill steal effect of Katarina. It's you get the execute of Garen and the cooldown refreshing of Katarina, and you get a spin to win. He's the new spin to win, literally.
You do also get like an AoE hook. If you think about it, so that is like, a little bit.
It's like a mini blitzcrank now. There's this like general power creep that's coming on where new champions are like just better versions of old champions, and Darius is like the ultimate reflection of this. Yeah, so I feel it's kind of sad. I wish
if I'm not mistaken, Garen and Katrina do have law together, right?
Yes, they do have law. So
So this is the baby.
yeah, this is like the unholy union of Garen and Katarina. It's what you get
My the
when you
things
mix
that come out, the spawns.
when you mix Nocturnes with the Martians. This is what you get. You get an unholy terror who just tears up the whole league with his stupid axe.
Okay, well, we have one which is Darius itself. We also have his brother coming out soon, which is Dwaven. If you don't know who Dwaven is, just look in the link below on the YouTube page. So yeah. So apparently Garen and Katrina had twins or two babies, and based on Darius' skill sets and how he plays, I can only imagine what Dwaven's going to come up with. Oh, it's Draven, not Dwaven. Oh my god, what am I saying?
Not Dwarven.
See, pronunciation happens.
All of a sudden he had a midget what?
Midget brother.
Midget brother, yeah.
So yeah, what do you think? I really have no idea. Wow.
Right, I've taken a quick glance through some of the skills that he has, and it seems to me that it's very the learning curve is a little bit difficult on this guy, because in order to maximize his potential, you have to play around with picking up whatever you're throwing out to maximize the damage output and the cooldown reductions on it. Uh, and that, in a sense, since he does not have like a gap closer or anything like that, it will be a little bit challenging. I mean, just imagine Olaf with his axes that he throws out. It's but this guy, it's like most of his skills, it can be activated twice, or you have to pick it back up to increase the cooldown. I mean, to reduce the cooldown or increase the duration of something or the damage of something like that. So it is a bit interesting that Riot is putting out a little bit more difficult champions out there. Hopefully, when difficult champions come out, they won't seem as overpowered, because usually those champions with just I click R, I win kind of concept, they seem very overpowered when they first come out, because no one knows how to counter it yet.
You mean counters?
You mean Darius, right?
Counters. Even when Sona came out, there was this meme about it where you just smash your face on the keyboard and you win.
Yeah, face roll is Sona, literally.
Yeah, so this type of champion concepts it's good that Riot is staying away from this and trying to implement a little bit more challenging concept. It's like playing Nidalee. I mean, although the skills are totally different, but to me, playing Nidalee takes a lot of skill to play it well, because of the accuracy of the leap and how you have to adjust the timing and stuff like that. And
yeah, but it's definitely going to lead to very interesting play now that like the champions do have like higher skill caps, so it's not so easy and things of that sort.
Yeah, I'll definitely support the high skill cap, high reward kind of philosophy. I think that's the way to go. I don't support this low skill and high reward thing, like press R to win, like with Darius.
And counters and that's out there.
Well, the thing is, we do have slightly above 90. Does anybody have the exact number of champions?
I believe it's 98.
90.
Yeah, not counting Draven, it's 98.
Okay, so with Draven, it'd be 99.
Yes.
What are your expectations for Champion 100?
Champion 100.
I mean, for Heroes of New Earth, they came out with the Twin Head Dragon, which is something similar to Jakiro from Dota, the one that could shoot out fire and ice at the same time. Yeah, and actually the skins that came out were really, really good for Heroes of New Earth. For League of Legends, do you think that we'll be seeing this, really amazing champion come out with like, spectacular skins?
I hope so, because it is a milestone for them, and if they kind of don't do it, then it's kind of disappointing. I am really looking forward to a really good hero.
I mean, like, basically many people say that, I mean, to us it's like, 100's an important number, but to Riot it could be like, you know what, it's only 100.
I want to see an offspring to Blitzcrank, man.
I just hope that they just take more time and not rush out champions so quickly, because it just seems to me that Riot is like pumping out champions really quickly because champions are their main source of income.
Yep.
And I
So-
don't want to see a future like, 2 years down the road where we have something like 500 champions and we need to have 10 bans each side in ranked. Yeah. You see, I'd rather Riot slow down and release better champions with more thought in them than just, continue try to spam us with this deluge of champions that just come like every 2 weeks. Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, so that means in a year they release 24 new champions, give or take. I don't know.
I think they should really concentrate on some of the champions that needs to be reworked, like Evelyn.
Yes.
That would be a very good 100 character present, a remake of Evelyn.
And Twitch.
Basically, any champion that goes invisible, right?
Yeah, they need a stealth remake.
But I mean, like, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, champions. Like, to be honest, do you think they will actually make, like, a fun character? Like, all of a sudden, Earth reappears as the 100 champion, like, or something of that sort.
That could be possible.
Possible. That's why I say offspring of Blitz, man, because Blitz is always fun.
Oh yeah, I play Blitz. I love Blitz.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really well-rounded champion, in my opinion, and it's really fun to play. So, someone that has that type of ability to catch people and just like try to just aggravate the other player, like, oh my god, I just got hooked again, that type of feeling when you get, yeah, that's what they need to do.
But didn't they try to do that with Nautilus, like, with the anchor hook?
Yeah.
It's not quite the same because, first of all, his hook doesn't go through terrain, and it hooks the target, but it kind of like pulls Nautilus towards the target as well.
Yeah,
So,
because they
those
reach
are-
in the middle, yeah.
Yes, so those are the differences.
No, what they should do, they should just take Patch from Dota and put it in League of Legends, man.
Isn't
So-
that what Blitzcrank is?
No, it's not.
longer range.
Because the punch that you get in Dota, his hook can reach allied units, so it makes a big difference.
Yep.
You can hook teammates away.
True.
And
What I would think would be interesting, instead of hooking towards you, you can push an enemy away.
push.
That
Yeah.
would be good support.
No, it'd be like, in Dota they had the Force Staff where you could push an ally or push an enemy. Like, I think that maybe that item or that skill would be really effective in League of Legends.
Definitely.
I think it would be debatable because currently push is counted as a hard CC and it stops a lot of channeling ultimates. Right now, the only CC item you could buy is Frozen Mallet, or the caster version would be the Crystal Scepter, and it's soft CC. So giving people the option to have hard CC with some goal is game breaking, honestly. It is game breaking.
You
But
do
no, not an item, a skill then.
A skill.
A skill where wherever you are facing and a person casts a skill on you, you get pushed in that direction.
That would
So
be
if you're coming to tower dive me, I'll push you towards the tower.
like you see the enemy team doing Baron and the jungler's in a stupid position. Let's push the jungler above the wall so he can't smite.
Law. But I think if such a champion were to go live, he can't just have one skill that has this push mechanic. His entire concept, his champion concept and his skill kit needs to be built around the concept of the manipulation of space. Otherwise, it'll just be a gimmicky thing, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, but it could be something like
Techie with a push.
no, like no, like we see Victor with like unusual skill sets. Even Blitzcrank has a pretty unusual skill set itself there. So something mechanical that could do that, like I think that would be really awesome. In Heroes of New Earth, they have a champion which can reverse polarity. That means you can either pull a champion or push a champion away. He deals with magnetism.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was
I think
hoping
that'll be
that
cute.
they would release a champion with a circular skill shot. That was interesting.
You mean like expanding and expanding skill shot around yourself?
Expanding and contracting concentric circles.
Okay. Oh.
Basically, the Guardian Whips in Dota.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be a refreshing idea for the 100 champion.
Well, we have lots of ideas for the 100th champion. We don't know whether it's actually going to come up. we really had like interesting things. I mean, we all comparing this to Dota because that's one of the first games ever done in this sort of genre. We really see Polymorph coming over here with Lulu. Um, we see like the Flash being over here as a summoner spell, things of that sort. What if they introduced a new summoner spell, which was the push? Since Flash was an item in Dota and it's actually a summoner spell here, so you need to wait like 200 over seconds before you could actually use it.
Sure, why not? I mean, you can remove that with search. I mean, search is
Oh, yeah,
crap.
search is useless.
You know, promote is kind of like, yeah, maybe in Dominion, you know. You don't really need that. And
But yeah,
revive
it's
is
search
kind
in
of like,
Dominion.
I'm gonna troll you. So, yeah.
Search and promote now are like, I'm going to throw you kind of flashing icons.
Yeah.
True. Well, we shall see what comes up in the 100 champion. At the rate is going in 2 weeks' time, so in a month from now, in 4 podcasts from now, in the beginning of July, we should be able to see the 100 champion come up. So, fingers crossed. Most likely, we'll talk about it more in the next podcast if we have any releases from the North American side yet. Talking about the new,
Would the community like to see for the 100 champion? That would be interesting. You
yeah,
know,
actually, we should go on to the NA forums and stalk them and say we want this for the next thing. But
play
anyhow,
forums, man.
yeah, for the last thing about the latest patch that Darius came out in was the changes of the map and supposedly the improved FPS. Now, I'm not really going to talk about how nice the map looks like and things of that sort, the changes to the jungle creeps and all, but they had promised us better FPS rates. Has your FPS rates actually improved?
For me, my FPS rate has always been stable. Um, I run a pretty good PC, so I could usually stand out when to most of the games that I'm playing and run a constant 60 FPS. So, but when they did introduce the new graphic changes in the game, I didn't really notice any FPS issues on my side, but I've had a lot of like disconnections when like loading and stuff like that. So that could be more of like a Garena implementing the patch problem instead of like Riot changing the whole graphic thing problem. So that's just on my experience on what I'm facing.
On my side, I didn't actually notice any changes, to be honest. I play LoL on a laptop. I run everything at very high settings. I have 60 FPS, and with the new patch, I still have 60 FPS. There's like no difference, or at least I can't detect any difference. So yeah.
Okay, well, for me, I run it on a laptop as well. Normally, my FPS is about 45 to 50. And with the recent patch, it is still 45 to 50. I don't see any changes out there. Perhaps it's more on the lower scale. Perhaps like people who do not have upscale PCs, they could actually see better frame rates then.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know. They promise better, FPS. So, I mean, if it's for the high-end PC users that don't really notice it, it's alright. But at least the middle end and the low ends, they should drastically. I mean, they could at least see that significant change. If they can't spot the change, then what's the point of doing it? You know, it's just to make the map look better. That's all.
I don't know. Well, if you guys are listening to us and if you do have a significant change, please write into us so we actually can see that actually has some difference rather than us, not doing anything. Yeah, so new map looks nice. I kind of think the blue golem is a little bit too big. It looks kind of scary now. Whenever I'm using Yordle standing next to it.
He towers over you.
Exactly, he does. And when he takes his two hands and smashes the ground, it's kind of frightening. Baron now, it's very clear we can see two mouths. Baron now looks very, the word would be Taufu-ish, like he has no backbone. He seems to be swaying to the left and right a lot. I don't know.
I don't know. I never actually looked at anything other than his health bar.
I don't know, it looks the same. Even Dragon had very little changes to it itself. What I did notice is because I main support, placements of wards now is no longer the same. Where the bushes that used to be there, it used to be of a certain width. So if you place it within a certain width, you have vision within the bush. Now the bushes are slightly bigger, but the width where you can place your ward inside is still the same. So if people who
so
do
it's
not
kind of
know,
like misleading, right?
exactly, it's misleading because many a times if I place wards where it should be in the bush when it actually isn't.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I
I
get
didn't
it.
notice
Try to
that.
place it right at the edge so you can squeeze a little bit more vision, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's like crap. I just wasted another ward. Like it's not there. So I've resorted to being perfectly in the middle of the bush to make sure, especially those thinner bushes, to make sure that I'm fine. Especially like the tri bush. If you
Yeah.
place it slightly off a little bit, it just goes off, and like important areas like that is really crucial. So I don't know if you guys have any other things out there. Like I haven't spotted any other weird things along the map yet. In the last week, we talked about the so-called Easter egg that's there. Still no idea what's that all about, but to be seen. That. Oh, I was actually reading the chat for this podcast that's actually being live streamed at the moment, and somebody said the podcast is boring and they want us to make jokes about Pamela Anderson and Britney Spears.
Really? Then, my friend, you're at the wrong podcast.
Yeah, I think you're at the wrong podcast.
I'm sorry, man.
I thought it was really hilarious. First of all, they said that the podcast was boring. Why don't we play music? I was like, okay. And then the podcast is boring. Why don't y'all make jokes about Britney Spears and Pamela Anderson?
Well, I'm glad you say Justin Bieber, so props to you.
Well, at least it was female, so. God, no worries about that. Sorry, whoever you said that, I can't remember your name, but there would not be any jokes about Britney Spears or Pamela Anderson. Not unless all of a sudden they're going to be spokespersons for Riot out there. I don't think so. We'll be talking
Or
about
they
that.
appear as champions in League of Legends.
Pamela Anderson, her first skill Q will be what? Boob smash?
I don't know, man. I'm not even going to get into that, man. I got a wife beside me. I don't want to get killed today. So, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that.
What skill sets would they have? Britney Spears singing pop song as her ultimate, so she takes over Crescendo from Sona.
I don't know, man.
Oh well.
Ultimate drug rehab.
Anyhow, leaving that aside, we're actually going to move on to our third and final topic, which is actually clans in Southeast Asia. I'm actually going to be telling more information than rather talking about it. Well, as far as I know, and I've actually talked to John and Ben just slightly prior to this podcast, and we do not see any clans outside of the Garena system here, let it be for multiple games here in Southeast Asia. What do you think about it? Do you think it's wise that Garena has, like, I wouldn't say monopoly, but that's the only word that comes to mind now, has a monopoly over all these sort of gaming clans? Do you think it would be good to have another sort of, what word am I looking for here? Another sort of organization that houses gaming clans?
I don't know. It's when I look at Southeast Asia, I don't see a lot of multi-gaming clans out there. It's always a clan within the game itself, and it would be interesting if other clans were to branch out more on multi-gaming clans, like how in America they do it. I know a couple of friends who have their clans. They do multi-gaming for Diablo 3, for League of Legends, for World of Warcraft, for CS. Even those type of games that are not really that popular, they still do it, you know. So
I mean, so long as if there are players, then, having a community is always better, I
yeah,
suppose.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, the reason why I brought up, gaming clans in Southeast Asia is because Sanctuary, for those of you who do not know, Sanctuary is a gaming clan who originally was under Garena. We have actually now moved away from the Garena system. For the clan lords that are listening to this, or the clan people that are there, you guys should know that Garena has a maximum of 200 people, and if you ever want to get more than 200 people, it is really, really ridiculous because you need to establish a new clan. So what Sanctuary actually had done is that we had started our own website itself, sponsored by one of our sponsors, which I'll talk about slightly later. And we have officially become one of the gaming clans out there. I'm actually looking forward to seeing other people do follow this. I do know that Yamable had done something similar to this before. I'm not sure of how successful they actually are itself. If you are from Yamable or Ratchet, if you're listening to this, PM me, so I actually know what's actually happening out there. But yeah, with the new systems, what I think is really good from escaping the Garena thing is that we can actually have more than 200 players um, in a clan. We can have multiple games, like for instance, Sanctuary now has Diablo 3 and League of Legends is one of his main games, and Torchlight 2 coming out soon.
Yes.
TM. Torchlight 2 and as well Guild Wars 2 coming out as well. So we see that it's more of an area to discuss where we have our own chat rooms, we have our own forums, we can update our own news, we have our own achievement system. I think it's a good step for Southeast Asia in general now that I see two clans basically doing it, and expecting more clans to actually follow it. Of course, Garena itself is really simple where, you just trade in your your Garena shells, and you basically come up with, they give you a free page and thing of that sort. But there are limitations. If you are a new clan or thinking of opening a new clan yourself, you can follow the Garena system, or if you need advice and coming out there are sponsors that you can get and there are sponsors out there where you can create your own website and things of that sort. Our own sponsor itself here, I'm not talking about this because they are our sponsor, but I'm talking about this because I think it's a really good website where it's really complete, and it actually has a wide variety of gamers from across the world using itself, its engine, the Malay spelling of engine. The link is actually below in the description, and we have it there itself. So if you would like to know more about engine and how they can actually help you out, feel free to contact me or any of the admins on in the Sanctuary side inside there. Or if you're planning to join the clan itself, you can come over there and be a part of our family. We welcome anyone there. No worries. So long as you play any one of our games, you can come along. We have people, let's see, who do we have people from? We have people from Mauritius, we have people from India, we have people from Australia, we have people currently in South Korea, we have people from Japan and Europe currently there. So we have a pretty wide out, obviously Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. We actually have one person from the Philippines who still wants to play in our clan even though they don't play on the same servers. No worries, you can all come there itself, but
Well, one day there might be a glorified, unified Southeast Asia server. There might be. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely true. We talk about Southeast Asia, but then most of the countries have their own servers, which I feel is kind of sad.
No, because we're facing the problem where each server is like too small, you see? The ranked community is too small.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it feels sad that each country has their own, and that the player bases are actually becoming really small. So, I don't know, perhaps a unified server might be good. I don't know, sorry about that. I don't know, but to me, gaming clans could serve as that purpose where you could just have everybody in one sort of gaming clan, immaterial of which server you're from. So perhaps you could find more people, and if people wanted to play on your server, there's a bridge over there. It's the same as how many of the gaming clans are playing on the NA server. Even we are playing on the NA server, all three of us here. So yeah.
It's actually quite fun because the last time when I was in a gaming clan, every time there's like a new MMO out, there's a couple of my friends and I, we would kind of like talk about it, be like, okay, let's try this out. And then all of us, we just like move over to that MMO and then we try that out. We have a little bit of fun. It might be a week or two until we get bored with that game, but it's a fun progression. You get to do different things instead of just something a bit more stagnant. And
I think you find people that have similar interests, and playing a game by yourself is not really that fun, but when you find other people, like in a clan or things like that, where you can adventure out and try new games, I think that is what the whole reason of having a clan is for, like a community that loves to play games and has fun together.
And that community also would actually provide that type of okay. Usually, when there's a lot of people that come together to join a clan and stuff like that, you usually don't gel well with other people, based on just certain characters that others might have. So at least it gives you that opportunity to find your little clique that you feel and belong to, and it kind of grows and you make more friends that way that you feel more comfortable with. At least that's for me, Like,
I mean, it's entirely true. It's only human nature that you can't mix around with everyone.
yeah, exactly.
Everybody can find their little own Indian and be
Yeah,
friends.
you can't find too many good Indians out there.
Can't find too many. You might have a bit too much drama there, but you can find the Indian that you like, and then he can be your friend and play games with you with.
Yeah, but it's someone that can enjoy the things that you are doing on the same wavelength and stuff like that. So from then on, your group kind of slowly builds with more people, coming into it, and then you get to meet more people that you like. Instead of kind of like trial and error, invite this guy, see how it is. Then, I don't really like him, and then invite, but he's on my friends list. Should I remove him? Should I let him be there? Oh no, he invited me for a game. I'll just act like I'm AFK kind of thing.
Yes, totally that, man. Totally that. It's this annoying guy again, but I don't want to tell him no, so I just pretend I didn't see it.
The other thing also, basically we have finished talking about most of the important topics about here itself. There are people who are actually messaging me right now wanting to know what's actually going to happen on the next episode, because I did release a little information about the next episode. There'll be many people bugging me. Okay, maybe bugging is a bit too harsh, but there's many people who have been pestering me to bring on girls to the show, because everybody's saying it's a sausage fest at the moment, and there'll be no girls that come on the show. So, spoiler alert for episode 6, there will be only me and 3 other girls. So, the other guests on the show, there will not be John, there will not be Jehuti, there will not be anybody else. There will be only me and other girls. I had to correct myself there because I was about to say there will only be girls. So, oops. So yeah, I assure you I am not female. But yeah, so on episode 6, we will actually be having Girl XC come on, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the only girl, what am I saying?
Only female.
The standalone only girl team in Southeast Asia. So they will actually be coming on, and you get to actually see what is it like to be a girl gamer. For all the boys out there, I'm pretty sure there's one topic on your mind. Are they single? Maybe you'll find out. So stay tuned and find out yourself. So yeah, John and Ben, do you have anything else to say before we end this podcast?
Girls should unite and build a girl clan community.
Isn't that what Galaxy is?
A little bit bigger than that. They should think big. Because I know there's a lot of girls in different clans that are always asking, is there another female gamer out there and stuff like that. So it's a good way to bring all of them together.
Yeah. Okay, well, no worries there. Ben, any last minute things from you?
I don't know, I just have to say that I pretty much enjoy being on the podcast so far. The first episode, it was a little tense, I guess, maybe a little nervous, but now I think, it's kind of like comfortable, and it's laughter, and it's a lot more chill, and I like it this way. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for your feedback, and thank you both for coming on the podcast itself. It has been great chatting with you guys once again on the 5th episode of the podcast itself. So thank you once again, John, for coming on, and thank you once again, Ben. For those of you all who want to read more information on what we have been talking about, please refer to the links below in the description on YouTube, and basically you can find out whatever it is there. And if you're interested in the clan or contacting any one of us, you can either send us a personal message or send us a contact form on our website itself. That will be our main base of operation from now onwards. And as well as you can read about our sponsors there as well. So yeah, not to forget, we're actually going to start up our own Twitter. We have actually, which is Sanct SANCTLOL, and you can follow us there itself. So whatever's happening in the clan or within the region itself. Also, one more thing I totally forgot about it is that aside this podcast, I actually have been thinking of coming up with another sort of section, which is maybe a 10 or 5 to 10 minute sort of update, perhaps maybe released on Saturday or Sunday of every week, where we don't necessarily have to talk about League of Legends or what's happening, but more updates or more news about what's actually happening around the area there. So if you do think that's a good idea or you want to listen to it itself, do let us know and we might actually do it itself. We obviously here on the podcast itself, we want to help out the gaming community. We want to provide you guys with information so that everybody is updated on things out there. And somebody just sent me another message asking us if we could actually do a podcast or kind of a podcast, if I think this idea right here, a podcast of things around happening during the GPL so that they do not have to listen to the commentators. Guys.
That's horrible,
I see
man.
the hidden message right there.
Okay. You know what? If you guys want to get that, if you guys want to do that, leave it in the comments. And if I guess 5 or more people actually want to do so, I'll work towards it. So perhaps next week we could, instead of listening to whoever else is commentating on GPL, you could listen to us talking about GPL, about things, commentating on the game and things of that sort. So yeah,
It should be fun. I know.
it should be really fun. And if you guys do want it, do also leave who would you like to be on the cast during the GPL things. Should be pretty interesting of what we have there. So thank you once again, both of y'all. I know it's been a little bit over an hour. I hope that it would be just below an hour. So it's a little bit over an hour. Thank you once again for both of y'all for coming on. And this shall be the end of podcast number 5. See you guys. Thank you for listening.